Chapter 102. Reward. Hiring the pen spirit. Mission requirement. Find the pen spirit's best friend and fulfill its wish. Mission reward. The pen spirit's affection level will increase tremendously, and you will have a chance to recruit it as the haunted house's employee. Chen Ge's eyes studied the last sentence closely. Hiring an actual ghost to be his worker was his dream, and he had not expected that the day would arrive so soon. When he first received the black phone, he had been paying extra attention to the My Team of Ghouls and Ghosts tab, but after completing so many missions, the tab had remained empty. Both Xiaoxiao and Zhang Ya could not be hired due to specific reasons. Chen Ge had already given up on that thought. After all, human and ghosts were different. However, it was not as good as he had hoped, since the black phone had now issued this mission. The perks of employing the pen spirit were endless. She could predict the future and could scare the visitors without the use of makeup. In Chen Ge's eyes, she was the perfect employee. I shall help the pen spirit fulfill her wish. After slipping the black phone back into his pocket, Chen Ge squeezed through the crowd. The few from Qinguang's studio were packing up the equipment and laptop. They looked like they were ready to leave. Who said you people can go? Chen Ge walked toward Fei Yuliang and pulled out the name tag from his pocket. The dirtied name tag had a woman's name written on it, Chen Yalin. Why would you steal a prop from the haunted house? Chen Ge waved the name tag in the air. Don't tell me, this old name tag belongs to Fei Yuliang? The people from Qinguang's studio looked at each other. They did not know what had possessed Fei Yuliang to go to the classroom to steal this name tag either. Xiao Chen, let me handle this. Uncle Shu was afraid of conflict, so he quickly came out to block Chen Ge. First things first, I need them to delete all the videos from their laptop, or else they are not leaving this place. Every set inside the haunted house took painstaking effort to build, and I will not allow my effort to go to waste just like that. Uncle Shu also understood the damage that the haunted house would suffer if the video was released to the public. He kept a close eye on the people from Qinguang's studio as they deleted the video from the laptop. Then he led them to the park management. These people's behavior had created a negative influence on the park, and they would be punished according to the park rules. After the few were led away, Chen Ge pushed them out of his mind. In a way, he pitied them from accidentally angering the pen spirit. After they left, Shu Wan walked out from the haunted house. Boss, are we still going to continue for the rest of the day? Of course. Chen Ge returned to the ticket booth, and the originally orderly crowd suddenly swamped him. Brother, how come there is no mention of the school scenario on the public forum? It looks fucking interesting. Is the ticket to visit the school the same price? Can we go in 4 at a time? I haven't been so excited and scared at the same time. Someone hold me. Chen Ge did not expect that the crowd's reaction to the new scenario would be so positive after witnessing what had happened to Fei Yuliang and Zhu Jianing. He glanced at the crowd and realized that most of them were students. I'm sorry, but due to some accidents, the scenario is temporarily closed for a 2-day maintenance period. Fei Yuliang and Zhu Jianing were the beta testers. From their experience, Chen Ge realized that even without his intervention, the scenario was independent enough to scare the visitors on its own. But there were still too many uncertainties and, thus, a certain risk. It was the same with the murder by midnight scenario initially. The mischievous Xiaoxiao followed behind Monkey and gave the man the scare of his life. It was only after Chen Ge solved the hidden mission in the murder by midnight scenario that the situation improved. To have the lingering spirits inside Muyang High School listen to me, the simplest solution is to complete the scenario's hidden mission. Chen Ge stuck his hand into his pocket, and with his fingers curled around the black phone, he came to a decision. The haunted house continued to operate, the incident with Qinguang's studio's people an interlude that was soon forgotten. Chen Ge was busy until 4 p.m., when the number of park visitors decreased. Chen Ge called Shu Wan over and had her get off work early. After Shu Wan left, he entered the Muyang High School scenario alone. This was the first 2-star scenario unlocked by Chen Ge. Its scenario was placed at the stairs that led down into the underground car park. In the future, no matter how Chen Ge expanded the underground car park, the entrance would not be changed. So the first scary scenario his visitors saw would be this one. He turned on his flashlight and headed toward the sealed classroom. The toppled chairs, tables, and the name tags on the lectern had been replaced, but one of the name tags was missing. "Can you hear me?" Chen Ge stood at the door and shouted into the room. The uniforms sat on their chairs, and there was no answer. After shaking his head, Chen Ge went to the female dormitory. He picked up the broken ballpoint pen and fixed it before putting it inside his pocket. After that, he wandered to the well at the other end of the junction. In the video, Fei Yuliang had been talking to himself beside this well. At the time, he should have been possessed by several lingering spirits at the same time, and that was why he was rambling what sounded like nonsense. Chen Ge looked down into the well. It was 2 or 3 meters deep. Even if someone fell into it, they would not be injured. Why would they say that, then? Is there another secret to this well? Chen Ge was reminded of the door inside the bathroom mirror, the door that would only appear for 1 minute after midnight. He could find no answer. After inspecting everything again, Chen Ge exited the underground car park and sealed the wooden boards. He took out 5,000 from the staff break room before locking the door and heading toward the park management office. When he saw Uncle Shu, he returned his money and asked about the update regarding the people from Qinguang's studio. Uncle Shu told him that things had been taken care of, and he should not worry about it. After handling all those miscellaneous tasks, Chen Ge walked out of the park and gave Inspector Li a call. It was answered after 3 rings, but the line was quiet except for an extremely tense breathing sound. "Uncle Sanbao? What have you discovered this time?" "It's nothing. I just need your help to find a person." "Not a murder suspect?" "No, just a normal student." After receiving the confirmed answer, the silence on the other end was broken, and footsteps could be heard in the background. People flipped through the documents while others talked on the phone. Everyone resumed their work. Inspector Li sighed in relief. "I told them that 4 times in 1 week is too much. The stress you give my men." "Uncle Sanbao, the person I'm looking for is Chen Yalan. She should be one of the victims from Muyang High School 3 years ago." "Victim? You're looking for a dead person?" Chapter 103. One Survivor. Inspector Li lowered his voice and the tension returned. "Explain to me clearly what is really happening." "It's definitely not a murder this time. I just want to take a look at her information." "Are you kidding? Do you think we can provide that kind of sensitive information to a citizen? If there's nothing else, I'm going to hang up." After Inspector Li hung up, Chen Ge felt rather hopeless. Just as he was trying to figure out what to do, his phone vibrated. It was a message from Inspector Li. "The case files definitely cannot be released to the public, but you can come over at around 7 to 8 p.m., and if your case is serious enough, I can help you take a look at the files." Chen Ge understood it immediately after reading the message. There were probably too many people at the office, and he could not promise him anything with so many eyes and ears around him. "Uncle Li, do you have any records on Muyang High School? What happened to force the school to close down? And why are there so many supernatural stories surrounding it?" After some time, Inspector Li's reply came. "The school was built on top of a crematorium, so the land was very cheap. However, due to the taboo, no one wanted to purchase it. Later, it was purchased by a short and rather rotund old man who had the surname Chen. He built a private orphanage on the site. A few years later, Zhujiang established societal construct related to childcare, and so the old man transported all the age-appropriate children to the government-supported orphanage. This meant that there was a bunch of older kids who were left behind at the orphanage. To solve the education problem for these kids, the old patron visited many schools, but none wanted to accept them. Running out of options, the senior purchased the textbooks and started teaching the children himself. This story was picked up by the local news and thus alerted the relevant government bodies. After some discussion, the orphanage was changed into Muyang High School, and those children adopted by the senior became the school's first batch of students. Before reading the messages, Chen Ge had not expected Muyang High School to have such a complicated history. "Inspector Li, can you find out how many students there were in the first batch? Do you have that kind of information?" After 20 minutes, Inspector Li called him directly. "Xiao Chen, I'm now in the filing room. Most of files related to Muyang High School have been taken away by the city station since the murder case has been solved. Uncle Shu, I just want to confirm one thing. Among the first batch of student, were there any girls by the name of Chen Yalin and Wang Xin? Let me take a look. Inspector Li flipped through the pages before answering. When Muyang High School was first built, there were 25 students, and they were all originally from the seniors' orphanage. 25? This number was close, but not exactly the same as the number of uniforms. Indeed, but... Inspector Li hesitated. There is only one survivor, the girl you mentioned, Wang Xin. The rest of them came into some kind of accident? Unfortunately, initially Chen Yalin was found hanging in the bedroom for unknown reasons, and then, other than Wang Xin, who shared the same bedroom with her, the remaining 23 people went on a school trip, but the bus veered off the road and fell into the dam. All of them died, including the driver. 25 people with one survivor. Chen Ge was reminded of the 24 school uniforms, and he slowly understood why the lingering spirits of the 24 students had returned to the classroom. It had a much deeper meaning to them. It was their home. Is there anything else? If not, I have to go back to work. Inspector Li had already done a big favor for Chen Ge. One last question. Is there a way for me to contact the child who survived? Chen Ge had confirmed that this Wang Xin was the person that the pen spirit was looking for. Wang Xin was hospitalized due to the trauma of Chen Yalin's incident. Afterwards, I heard that a kind couple adopted her. You can find out more from the adoption website. Since Wang Xin's case is so unique, there should still be records of her. After hanging up, Chen Ge followed Inspector Li's suggestion and logged onto the website. He searched for half an hour before he found Wang Xin's name. The person who had adopted her was a Madame Gu. After clicking on Madame Gu's profile, he realized that she had posted many threads on the forum requesting for help. Chen Ge just wanted to know a bit more about this Madame Gu, but as he studied her threads, his expression changed. Wang Xin seemed to have fallen victim to some kind of psychological illness, and Madame Gu had gone about asking for professional help. In the end, it was a doctor with the surname Gao who had come to her aid. This Dr. Gao's resume was printed clearly on his profile. Senior psychologist, tenured lecturer at Zhejiang Medical University. Could there really be such a coincidence? Chen Ge hesitated for a moment before giving Gao Rushui's father a call. Hello? Dr. Gao, I'm Gao Rushui's friend. We discussed a boy's condition last night. Has the boy's condition stabilized? I'm not sure about that, but I'm calling because of another case today. Chen Ge thought about it and decided honesty was the best policy. Have you treated a girl by the name of Wang Xin? Dr. Gao was surprised. How do you know about that? I know the reason behind Wang Xin's psychological problem, and I can save her. Can you please give me her address? You can save her? Dr. Gao denied his demand immediately. I'm sorry, but I cannot give away my patient's information. Dr. Gao, Wang Xin is in very deep pain. As her attending physician, you have to know how much suffering she is in. She must be tormented by fear and nightmares. Can't you give me a chance, please? Dr. Gao was silent for a very long time before sighing. How about this? I will accompany you. We will meet at the gate to Fanghua residential area. Okay, see you there. This was the best result Chen Ge could get. 40 minutes later, Chen Ge finally met Gao Rushui's father in person. He was a middle-aged man with a fit physique and plenty of charm. After a simple introduction, Dr. Gao led him to one of the large buildings. Can you really solve Wang Xin's issues? Dr. Gao was most concerned about this. I know the reason to her sickness, so I have 50% confidence that I can solve it. That is more than enough. She's also a special patient. The antidepressants and medicine aren't working so well, but I simply couldn't find any other symptoms in her. The pair rode the elevator until the 14th floor. One of the doors was opened. Dr. Gao had called the patient's family before they arrived.